studied that.
Okay, the final instruction.
Yes, so basically he was instructed to write about the transcendental subject matter of the Supreme Lord. Yes, so and these processes are mentioned as chanting and glorifying.
Okay. Okay. Yes, that is the overall instruction, but there are many, many other aspects, very final details. So if you have heard with heart, you will catch those details. And gradually you will apply them. And that will uplift you in your practice of bhakti. Okay, thank you. Pradeep, spend some minutes every day. Please spend some 10 minutes every day to revise, revisit, and recommit ourselves in the process of study of Bhagavatam. Hare Krishna.
Narada Muni explained that he was born to the maid servant, even though he was engaged in the service of brahmanas. So by taking the shelter of the servant of Supreme Lord, so then only we can assess this knowledge, and then we can engage in the devotional service of the Lord.
So what all did Narada Muni receive? By serving them. Narada Muni served them. And by this process of submission and service, what all was bestowed by them? What did he receive? 3 things we discussed. You mentioned, so I'm just emphasizing on what are those 3 things which he received.
He received knowledge.
Yes, he received
knowledge, realization.
More, two more things have been mentioned. Very important.
Knowledge, detachment.
Don't mix what we discussed yesterday. That is from the other episode. He received knowledge. Anyone remembers what? Please don't see the book. Yeah. Try to make our memory connect. Matta smritir jnanam apohanam cha. So smriti is memory and jnanam is knowledge. So in our smriti, whatever is the instruction, if it can be stored. What all did Narada Muni receive? One is knowledge. Yes, of course, he received transcendental knowledge. What are the other 2 things which Narada Muni himself speaks in these verses? What he received? Who remembers? Come on, quickly. Yes, Sonika.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. First step was knowledge. Second step, Prabhuji, I forgot, and third was loving devotional service.
He received all mystic opulences also. Don't think that one who practices bhakti is a pauper. He's a bhikhari. No. He has the most mystic opulences with him. But he is never, enticed by it. He never uses it. He does not give much importance to it. He received jnana, aishwaryam. Yatra yogeshwara Krishna, tatra partha janardhana. Tatra Shri Vijayo Bhuti. All types of opulences are there. And what is the third you said?
Prabhuji, loving devotional service.
Yes, he developed affection and love for them. He developed bhavam. Swasmin bhavam cha Keshava. He developed first love and affection for the Bhakti Vedantas, which in turn made him develop love for the Supreme Lord. That is the ultimate. This is what Narad Muni's instruction is meant for all of us. To become a recipient of this transcendental knowledge. Second part, I am not very inclined to speak, which automatically comes. If knowledge comes with it, so many opulences come. Jnanam is at itself one of the Aishwarya, isn't it? Among the 6 Aishwarya, one of the prominent Aishwarya is Jnanam, knowledge. And with this knowledge, what one will be able to cultivate is love and affection towards the devotees and the Lord. Very good, very important point. It is not useless. It is not baseless. Okay. Who else have not spoken? Please speak, contribute. The first line I have spoken, what I see displayed in my screen. Sonika has spoken. Ravinder Prabhu and Priyanka Mataji has spoken, and Manuram has spoken. Pranam, from this chapter, what is the inspiration, learning, instruction? Quickly, you should be able to think and, contemplate. Pranam, please contribute. Bolo.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Narad Muni serving service attitude towards the saints, which make him receive this knowledge, transcendental knowledge.
What is the point? This will be no general categorization. Speak a specific aspect of the instruction. In so much time they were speaking, what were you doing? The full chapter has gone. You have discussed more than 40 verses. Nothing is there in the memory. How is it possible? Mention some of the qualities of Narad Muni.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. He was Shruti Shrava one, I remember. That's very humble.
What is the proof of his humility? Where did you find that? What was mentioned? Don't give me just general answers or replies. It has no meaning. Okay, Dayashil Prabhu, you go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in the 5th chapter, by the example of Nāradajī, one can know how one can progress in the path of Bhakti Prabhuji. And the instruction, as you told, so one of the instruction, I just remember that Nāradajī was telling to Vyāsadeva that if you describe the glories of the Supreme Lord, so by hearing that, all the clash of the
Hmm.
people of in general mass that can be removed, Prabhuji, only by hearing that. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, distress. Yeah. This is for the mass welfare. Two aspects which we discussed. Hmm. Who will take this Bhagavatam study seriously? What were the two aspects? We discussed few days back. Prabhupada writes in the purport, who will become a serious student of Srimad Bhagavatam, who will take the hearing of the
Prabhuji,
Bhagavatam.
if at all anyone wants the peace of mind,
Very
then must hear the
Yes.
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Both are points just spoken. First, for the welfare, if he is interested in his own welfare, if he is actually interested in his own welfare. Prahlad Maharaj is saying hardly anyone is interested. Nate vidu swart gatim hi Vishnu, durashaya bahi arthmanina, andha yata andha upagiyamana. So, those who are actually interested in their welfare, self-welfare, and those who want peace of mind will take this instructions very seriously. Very good point. Very good point. And this will give, you see the instruction, that this is for both. For those who are advanced transcendentalists. That will satisfy the hankerings of great learned men and at the same time mitigate the miseries of masses of common men who are always suffering for material pangs. So Srimad Bhagavatam is the therapy for all classes of men. Very good. Very good point. Thank you. Who has not spoken so far? Ramya, आप बोलेंगे?
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
प्रभु जी एक वर्स में बताए थे कि पर्पट में प्रभुपाद लिखे थे कि 3 इम्पोर्टेंट पॉइंट ऑफ ए स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिशनर्स जो कि नारद मुनि में था कि वो सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन थे और सेल्फ कंट्रोल थे और ओबीडिएंट थे, इसीलिए
Very
उनको
yes. बहुत अच्छा. For any spiritual practitioner to progress, he should have these three things. He should be self-disciplined, he should be obedient, and he should be self-controlled. Otherwise, it is not possible. No progress is possible. Very good. Anything else you remember? We discussed so much.
प्रभु जी उनके सर्विस एटीट्यूड से जो महाभागवत थे वो बहुत प्रसन्न थे और उन्होंने और प्रभु जी डिवोशनल सर्विस का एसेंस है चैंटिंग से ही शुरू होती है
Okay. Yes. Very good. So the Bhakti Vedantas were very, very satisfied. They were very happy with his service attitude. So they agreed to give him knowledge. Otherwise, they don't give knowledge, they don't give transcendental knowledge to anyone and everyone. It is not possible. Neither than the person can receive. But it is service attitude which qualifies us to become recipient of this transcendental knowledge. And Narada Muni had that service attitude. Very good. Thank you.
प्रभु उन्होंने उनका उच्चिष्ट दिया था और यहाँ पे पर्पट में लिखा था कि भक्त पद धूलि, भक्त पद जल एंड भक्त पद उच्चिष्ट जो कि
भक्त पद धूलि, भक्त पद जल, भक्त भुक्त अवशेष, यही तीन नाम। तो नारद मुनि को वो तीनों बल मिला। बहुत अच्छा, वेरी एक्सीलेंट। Why Pranav? Why you cannot remember all these details? Huh? What is the difficulty with you? But some absorption is somewhere else. Ab aap bolo. We have discussed more than 42 verses. 40 verses. Don't waste time.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, he was self-controlled. He has no
Don't
attachment.
repeat. Don't repeat, please. Kindly don't repeat. Don't make a fool of yourself and others.
I have seen the verse.
Sorry?
I've seen the books. Prabhuji.
Has seen both what?
I'm find a verse in book. I don't remember.
Now, either the 40 verse, nothing is remembered. Okay, you want to speak anything, Devashish? Kuch yaad hai? Although you could not hear much because of your so many services and travel. हरे कृष्ण। सुना तो जो अगर कुछ याद हो, कुछ भी नारद मुनि का आदेश निर्देश। चलो लेट्स मूव। यस सोनिका बोलिए।
प्रभु जी एक पॉइंट ऐड करना चाह रहे थे। नारद मुनि ने हियरिंग को, श्रवणम को बहुत ज्यादा एम्फसाइज किया था, स्पेशली हमें परंपरा से अगर हम श्रवणम करते हैं तो हम डिवोशनल पाथ में ग्रो करते हैं। और आपने एक और पॉइंट बताया था जो कि जब तक हमें शुद्ध वैष्णवों का मर्शी नहीं मिलता है तब तक हम कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस हमारा स्टार्ट भी नहीं होता।
मैंने प्रभुपाद का परपोर्ट दिखाया था, मैं थोड़ी बोल रहा हूँ कुछ। Who am I? You remember what was that purport? Unless and until one receives personal training and education. Prabhupada says, unless and until one receives personal training and education. Training education के लिए कहते हैं लोग तैयार ही नहीं होते हैं, भागते हैं। उनको लगता है पता नहीं उनसे क्या ले लिया जाएगा। अरे पूरा मर्सी का जो एक्सेस है वो दिया जाएगा। Show that verse again, 11.54. Bhagavad Gita. That very important verse, Jasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasya athita hi artha prakashante mahatmana. Prabhupada writes in that explanation, 11.54 in Bhagavad Gita, that unless and until one receives personal training and education from a spiritual master, he cannot even begin to know about Lord Krishna. Yeah. See, read. Manoram Prabhu, read this paragraph. Okay, let Pranab read. Pranab, you read this paragraph. One who has unflinching devotion.
यशा देवे परा भक्ति यथा देवे तथा गुरु तस्याते कथितय अर्थ प्रकाशन्ते महात्मना।
I am
One
asking,
who has
yeah, go ahead.
one who has unflinching devotion for the Supreme Lord and is directed by the spiritual master in whom he has similar unflinching faith can see the Supreme Personality of Godhead by revelation. One cannot understand Krishna by mental speculation. For one who does not take personal training under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, it is impossible to even begin to understand Krishna. The word tu is specifically used here to indicate that no other process can be used. Can be recommended or can be successful in understanding Krishna.
Okay, thank you. And next time when I ask, don't tell me that you don't remember anything. Write it. You have stopped writing. Most of you have stopped writing. That means you have told Krishna that I don't want to accept the instructions. I don't want to keep it in my memory. Let it remain in the book. And in my heart, whatever desires and aspirations I have to enjoy this world, let it stay. Let it not change. Why? Because if I try it, I will itch it in my heart. And I don't want to do that. Okay, we'll begin the 6th chapter. Conversation between Narad and Vyāsadeva. It continues. So Narad Muni told about his, what did he tell about? His karma, his activities. Sūta uvāca evaṁ niśamya bhagavān devarṣer janma karma bhūyaḥ papraccha tam brahman vyāsaḥ satyavatī-sutaḥ. The Sūta Goswami is now speaking to those assembled sages. He says, evaṁ niśamya bhagavān. He's saying that after thus hearing, who heard? The powerful incarnation of God. Who is being mentioned as bhagavān here? Answer, just answer. Who is bhagavān mentioned here? Evaṁ niśamya bhagavān. Who is bhagavān? Yes. Answer, no problem. Just answer. Dashil bolo. Yes. How did you make out it is Vyāsadeva and not Nārada?
Prabhuji, it is continuing Prabhuji from previous chapter. So that conversation as you told.
Nārada is also mentioned as Bhagavan. Why here it is for Vyāsadeva and not for Nārada? I want to just see how you picked up. Whether it is speculation or there is systematic analysis.
No, you told Prabhuji that after hearing, you told after hearing.
Oh no. Wait. Yes, Ramya.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, here it is mentioned vyāsaḥ satyavatī-sutaḥ.
Okay. But still it is not clear. Yeah. Bhūyaḥ pritchāmi tam brahman vyāsaḥ satyavatī-sutaḥ. Yes, that is true. But there is one thing which makes it very distinct. It is there in the verse. See, this is how we learn Srimad Bhagavatam. Which word is making it more clear? Here that it is only for Vyāsadeva and not for Narad Muni. It is there in the verse. Again, see the verse. अरे आप तो बोलो.
Prabhuji, for Śrī Nārada, devarṣer is distinctly mentioned.
Yes.
So others will be different.
Yes, simple. It is because for Devarṣi Nārada, it is already mentioned. Sūta uvāca evaṁ niśamya bhagavān. It is for niśamya means after hearing. Who heard? Bhagavān yani Vyāsadeva. And what did he hear? Devarṣer janma karma. He heard about the glorious birth and the activities of Narad Muni. And then after hearing about Narad Muni, what was his reaction? Bhūyaḥ papraccha tam brahman. Bhūyaḥ means again. Papraccha means inquiry or inquisitiveness. So he again asked. Again he inquired. And Sūta Goswami is addressing to whom? To all the sages. He said, evaṁ papraccha tam brahman. Again he inquired, O brahmanas. Who inquired? Vyāsaḥ satyavatī-sutaḥ. Sūta said, O brahmana, thus hearing all about Narad Muni's birth and activities, Vyāsadeva, the incarnation of God. Here it is. That is why he is called Bhagavān, because he is incarnation of God and son of Satyavati, inquired as follows. It was not sufficient. He was more keen, more eager, more desirous to know, go deeper into the life of Śrī Nārada Muni. Vyāsadeva was further inquisitive to know about the perfection of Nāradajī. And therefore he wanted to know about him more and more. In this chapter, Nāradajī will describe how he was able to have a brief audience with the Lord while he was absorbed in the transcendental thought of separation from the Lord, and when it was very painful for him. So more details will come. Vyāsaḥ uvāca bhikshubhir vipravasite vijnana adreshta bhitvaya tava vartamano vyasi adde tatha kim akarod bhava. So what was the inquiry? What did Vyāsadeva ask? Vibhukshubhir. Vibhukshubhir are who? Those 4 Bhakti Vedantas who are mendicants. And Vipravashite means, Avashite means that after they left. That means they departed to their places. After imparting Vijnana, that scientific knowledge in transcendence, and Adrishtabhi. With the knowledge, they also gave instructions. Those who were instructed, Tava, to you. So after they left, Kim akarod bhavan. What did you do, sir? After you received the knowledge and after you received the instruction. This is the most important thing. And after you received the knowledge and after you received the instruction, what did you do? How did you perfect your life? Srila Vyāsadeva did. Vyāsadeva said, what did you, Narad, do after the departure of the great sages who had instructed you the scientific transcendental knowledge before beginning your present birth? This is very important. Only receiving jnanam and instruction is not sufficient. How it was received and what was the result? These 2 aspects are very important. Vyāsadeva himself was a disciple of Nāradajī, and therefore it was natural to be anxious to hear what Narad did after initiation from the spiritual masters. Most important. The word of Diksha is called initiation. Initiation means what? Beginning. It is not the end or the perfection. It is the beginning. He wanted to follow in Narad's footsteps in order to attain the same perfect stage of life. This desire to inquire from the spiritual master is an essential factor to the progressive path. This process is technically called Shat Dharma Pariksha. Shat Dharma Pariksha. This is the path for the absolute perfection. Or inquiry for coming to the absolute dharma. What is the dharma of the jiva? It's to serve the Supreme Lord. So how did he receive those instructions, those jnana, and how did he apply it? That is why initiation is not the perfection. Initiation is just the beginning. So after getting initiated, what one receives? One receives instructions. So how did one apply those instructions? How did one apply the knowledge which he received? And what was the result? So this inquisitiveness is there in the heart of whom? Vyāsadeva. So very interestingly, this chapter will flow. How Nārada Muni perfected, what he did After meeting the four Bhakti Vedantists and receiving knowledge and initiation from them, and after they left, your initiation is done. So after initiation, what one does, that will determine his progress or fall from the spiritual path. Okay, very interesting situation. So we will discuss it later. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. If there is any question, please ask, or anything to contribute. Yes, Manoram Prabhu.
Prabhuji, as you many times discussed also, the definition of bhagavān has given by Parashar Muni. So that is 6 different opulences in full. But here in other incarnations also, why they are called bhagavān, Prabhuji, if that is the definition?
No, Vyāsadeva is not exhibiting the opulence. What opulence is having? Is he not Bhagavan? He is a satyavatī avatar. He is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Lord. He is the one who has come and given all the Vedic literatures. Is he not having the opulence? Is he not having that Shakti or Aishwarya?
Yes, Prabhuji. So that means he was also having in full, as like
Not full. Not full. Not full. He cannot exhibit any of this feature. He cannot exhibit opulence like Krishna. Or for that matter, he does not exhibit opulence like Lord Ram. Or even like Vamana or Narasimha. But he is a powerful personality. Bhagavan is referred to someone who has that opulence, who has that power, who has that Shakti. There may be many Ishwaras, yeah? But there is only one Parameshwara, who is the controller of all controllers. That is Krishna. That is why Vyāsadeva is being told by Narad Muni to glorify that Supreme Lord, not the demigods. They are also controllers, but they are not the supreme controllers. Okay? Anyone else? Very interesting. If you hear with interest, with inclination, you will see, you'll be able to remember everything. It depends on what is the position of our heart. If the heart is connected, everything will go deeper. It will remain there. Hearing is done with heart. Hearing is not done with ears. You see how they are hearing? All these sages assembled in the Naimisharanya, hearing with such heart. See how beautifully this verse is described. You see the verse again. He is addressing everyone. Vyāsadeva, Sūta uvāca. Evaṁ niśamya bhagavān. He is addressing to Vyāsadeva. Devarṣer janma karmacha. He is addressing to whom? He is addressing to Narad Muni. Bhūyaḥ papraccha tam brahman. So in one part it is being mentioned about Vyāsadeva, and the other part he is addressing those assembled sages. Vyāsaḥ satyavatī-sutaḥ. So he sees his connection. Vertical, parallel, all connected. Thank you very much. Śrīmad Bhagavatam ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.